You guys definitely know Batman, but have you ever wondered where those stories came that influenced so many superhero movies in the last decade? For example, the darker tones that we see in the Christopher Nolan trilogy, or even the physical appearance of Ben Affleck's Batman. All of that based on the most famous comic book of Batman of all time, Batman the Dark Knight. I'm so happy to tell the story of this amazing comic book, so stick around the channel because it's gonna be a weekly series divided in 4 parts. And don't forget to leave a like, subscribe. Just to do a quick reminder, The Dark Knight Returns was written and illustrated by Frank Miller, writer of Watchmen and many other famous stories. It was published in 1986, with the story being set in a dystopian future where Bruce Wayne is in his mid-50s and has retired from crime fighting for 10 years. However, when the city of Gotham is overrun by a new wave of crime, Batman returns to the streets to fight once again. The comic basically starts with Bruce Wayne being 50 years old, retiring from 10 years, and now a new gang shows up in Gotham called the Mutants. And it is interesting to see that the part of the story installed by the reporters that appear throughout the brackets of the comic book, which is interesting to tell what's happening in Gotham, which develops well the story. Another thing interesting from Bruce Wayne now, that he basically considers that Batman was born in the day that their parents were killed in that alley. That's why he mentions that as he walks through the street.
But Batman was a young man. It was revenge he was after. He's taken it. It's been 40 years since he was born here. Once again, he has brought me back to show me how little it has changed.
And a very particular figure leaves out from the Arkham Asylum as the doctors think that he is in their right mind for him to return to society. Harvey Dent had his face reconstructed after having his face deformed, becoming Two-Face, who has been captured by Batman and locked away for 12 years. The thing is that he has his treatment paid by Bruce Wayne.
A new life begins today for Harvey Dent. Former district attorney, he became obsessed with the number 2 when half his face was scarred by acid.
For me, this is the end of a long nightmare, and the first step on the long road to absolution.
As Bruce is entering his old cave, he remembers the first time that he felt there, where he was 6 years old. The fear that he had when darkness embraced him.
I was only 6 years old when that happened, when I first saw the cave. Huge, empty, silent as a church, waiting, as the bat was waiting. And now the cobwebs grow, the dust thickens in here as it does in me.
That one common thing about Bruce Wayne in general, that we saw mostly in the last Batman from Robert Pattinson, was his loneliness inside his house and the lack of contact with others. Even being joked by Alfred, who said that it might be possible that there won't be a next generation to appreciate the great wines that this mansion has. And also the mental scars that Bruce still has when, for example, he was watching the TV, the movie The Mask of Zorro, and he remembered that this was the last movie that he saw with his parents in the theater before they got murdered. And as Bruce passes the channel of the TV, he's just flooded with news of crimes all over town, basically realizing that that might be the time for him to come back.
You cannot stop me, not with wine or vows or the weight of age. You cannot stop me, but still you try. Still you run. But your voice is weak.
As the story goes on, we see a couple of crimes happening around town and then being stopped somehow. First with an attempt of murder, then with 2 thugs in a cab, and the last one that 2 girls are walking in a dark street that just had a blackout and they are surprised by 4 mutants. And in the dark you just see the flashes of them being punished.
An anonymous tip led police to the warehouse, where they found the children with 6 members of the mutant gang. All 6 are suffering from multiple cuts, contusions, unbroken bones. They were rushed to Gotham General Hospital.
Multiple attacks are informed mainly by people who indicate that the person who is doing this looks like Dracula, which the media indicates immediately that Batman is back. And the confirmation came along with the police after chasing a car full of bad guys. Batman appears out of nowhere and standing there he claims,
"These men are mine."
As Batman goes inside the building, the 3 armed men go to the top floor, waiting for him to appear. Then Batman uses his grappling hook to attach himself to the structure of the building, realizing that by his age now, he's needing to use also his legs to climb. After they notice his presence, they start shooting, which is a surprise that they now hear him approach. And he was known as a very silent guy. Maybe the age is a factor to that, but out of nowhere, he grabs one of the guys by the foot, breaking the wooden floors that he was standing, pulling him down. The second guy went to see what happened, and then he gets pulled too by his rope, incapacitating him as well. Now the third guy desperately follows Batman, and with a surprise strike, Batman just launches one of the most iconic lines.
There are 7 working defenses from this position. 3 of them disarmed with minimal contact. 3 of them kill, the other hurts.
Then the cops arrive, the younger one shocked, knowing that Batman is actually real, and the older one surprised that he was back. He was so happy telling him his story, which was the first time that he saw him, but he wasn't caring for the moment, because Batman was just focused on the thing that he just found on the mutant's pocket, which was a coin crossed, a very specific one that was the symbol for Two-Face. Later, after all those attacks that Batman did, the mutant leader declared war against Gotham and its defender. Then Gordon puts the bat signal to work again for Batman to help him with a crime that just happened, and they are speculating that Harvey Dent might be planning some attack. Preparing for the attack, Batman stays up in the gargoyle holding his rifle, waiting for the approach of the 2 helicopters. Then when Batman was climbing up the tower so he could get a better position, he faces some guards and sees that a bomb has been planted there and the countdown initiated. Two-Face uses the 2 helicopters to plant 2 bombs on each of the tallest buildings in Gotham. The 2 tallest buildings in Gotham, and yes, they are twin towers. We need to reckon also that this comic was made in 1986, so there was a long time ago, way before 9/11, so just so you know that he wasn't making their assumptions about those terrorist attacks in America, because those attacks only happened 15 years later. Batman uses the sniper, but not to shoot a bullet, but shoot like a grappling hook, as it serves as a tie rope between the 2 buildings. And as he's walking through that rope, he makes a shot. He receives a shot in his chest. But of course, he had a protection, and when he's falling down, he uses his sniper again, and now he's holding to the helicopter. The pilot, knowing that Batman's gonna get him, he just jumps out of the helicopter. But Batman, thinking about preserving the identity of the pilot and knowing who he is, he jumps, swinging the rope, falling safely in the building. But thinking that it was just a regular pilot, it was actually Harvey Dent. And he claims to Batman that his face now is even, meaning that he doesn't have a good side anymore.
What are you so mad about bats? You have to admit that I played along, and you took your job about as far as it could go. Got the whole world to smile at me. Got them all to keep their lunches down when they saw my face. Say I was cured, saying I was fixed. Take a look. I am fixed, all right. At least both sides match.
Wow, so yes, that was the finish for the first part of The Dark Knight. Wow, that's so amazing. Thank you guys for watching. Stick around to the channel so you can see part 2, part 3, and part 4. They're coming out the next few weeks. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys on the next video. So, goodbye and peace.